The LeEco Le Pro 3 is powered by the new Snapdragon 821 and offers an impressive overall package at a surprisingly low price tag. It's available from $315 and the top model with 6GB RAM and 64GB memory is available at $380. We put the 6GB version of the Le Pro 3 to the test to check out if it really is as good as it looks on the paper and if it is a OnePlus 3 alternative. Ready for the review? Let's go! So with the Le Pro you get some paperwork, a SIM needle, one 3.5mm headphone jack adapter, one USB Type-C cable, one fast charger and a protective case for the rear. The LeEco Le Pro 3 looks simply stunning. The brushed metal combined with the glossy coating really plays with incoming light, making the phone look different depending on the lighting. It definitely is a phone that sticks out of the crowd. One downside, the glossy coating makes it lose the feel of metal. It sadly feels a bit like plastic. The weight of the phone is surprisingly low at 174 grams and it is fairly slim too for a 5.5-inch phone. It's 151.4mm in height, 73.9mm in width and 7.5mm thin without the camera module of course. That's pretty impressive considering the large battery. Build quality is pretty much perfect, all parts fit perfectly and there are no gaps or sharp edges. The antenna lines are almost not noticeable when touching them. The SIM tray is even with the phone's frame. The only thing we noticed is that the buttons are a tiny bit loose, but by far not enough to cause a rattle or cheap feel. The front is typical for LeEco devices. Yes, the black frame around the screen is there, but those endless complaints about it are kinda pointless for a couple of reasons. First, it lets the phone look slimmer than it is and makes up for a nice contrast between the screen and the phone's body. Second, it doesn't make the phone bigger contrary to popular belief. Those bezels are actually one of the slimmest you can get on current phones. And if you just don't like the design, stop complaining and buy some other phone. Like on other LeEco phones, both the status LED and the touch buttons are invisible until they light up, which creates a very clean look on the front. Screen specs are 5.5-inch Full HD resolution and in-cell IPS LCD technology. We like the panel. It offers a nice and sharp picture with decent colors, contrast and very good black levels. Viewing angles and brightness are great and the auto readability is good. The system offers you the possibility to change the color profile, so you can choose between a very natural color reproduction or go more intense. You even can change the scaling, choosing between more space on the screen or larger UI elements. The touch panel offers up to 10 touch points and reacts fast and precise. The input lag is minimal. Thanks to Gorilla Glass 3, our review unit doesn't have any scratches so far. Unfortunately, there is no oleophobic coating. The Snapdragon 821 processor makes the LeEco Le Pro 3 fly. Thanks to its higher CPU and GPU clock, it offers about 10% higher performance compared to the Snapdragon 820. The fast LPDDR4 RAM and UFS 2.0 memory enable the chip to fully unleash its potential. If you throw a lot of workload onto the chipset, you can indeed notice the performance difference between a Snapdragon 820. Anyway, that doesn't mean you will have to switch immediately if you already own a Snapdragon 820 based phone. Both chips can't be maxed out during normal daily use and of course don't have any issues with modern 3D games at highest graphics settings. The heat is surprisingly low. The phone does get only slightly warm during normal use. When playing games, the heat gets more intense, but it still remains within a comfortable range. The sensor specs are pretty impressive. Just look at this huge list. You really don't see something like that every day, don't you? All important sensors work well, including the gyroscope and compass. The fingerprint scanner works flawlessly. It's very reliable and it happens very seldom that unlocking the phone takes 2 attempts. The speed is very impressive too. One very quick touch is enough and the phone unlocks. The fingerprint scanner can be used to scroll through lists and web pages as well, which comes handy at times. The LeEco Le Pro 3 also packs an infrared blaster, which enables you to control your television or other devices based on an IR remote. The remote feature worked well when we tested it using our Hisense television. The Le Echo Le Pro 3 runs Le Echo's in-house developed EUI custom ROM in version 5.8, which currently is based at Android 6.0.1. After removal of the Chinese stuff and manually installing the Google Play Store, the software offers a nice user experience, since EUI is pretty much grown up these days. The UI concept is a bit different from standard Android, but once you get used to it, it creates a nice workflow. Tutorials for getting rid of the Chinese stuff and installing the Google Play Store are available here on this channel within the tutorials playlist. The Le Echo Le Pro 3 does a lot of things right, and that includes wireless. It offers support for the FDD LTE Band 20, which still is a rare thing on Chinese high-end phones. Signal strength has been top-notch during our test. The Wi-Fi signal strength could be a bit better. We encountered a few signal losses on rooms far away from our router. The phone supports AC Wi-Fi, and we have been able to use the full 200 Mbit bandwidth of our internet connection with it. NFC is supported as well and works great despite the metal rear. GPS performance is top-notch, and we hadn't any issues during navigation. There is a bug with Here Maps, however, which cuts off the speech output. On Google Maps, that issue doesn't exist. The Le Echo Le Pro 3 impressed us with excellent audio quality, especially the internal stereo speakers are awesome. They create a very nice and balanced sound with clear bass, treble and heights, and no distortion even on maximum volume. The phone even outperforms the iPhone 7 Plus, which is insane on this price level. If you want to use headphones, you need to use the USB Type-C to 3.5mm adapter that comes with the phone. Well, at least if you don't have headphones with a Type-C plug. There is no cut down in audio quality by using the adapter. Telephony voice quality is excellent, and background noise is eliminated almost entirely. The high quality speaker inside the earpiece, which is part of the stereo sound system, makes HD calls sound awesome. Camera inside the Le Echo Le Pro 3 is a 16-megapixel Sony IMX298 unit with f2.0 aperture and PDAF. The front shooter operates at 8-megapixel resolution and comes with f2.2 aperture and a wide-angle lens. You shouldn't expect a high-end camera though. What you get, however, is a very good upper mid-range shooter that is capable of creating some stunning shoots when the lighting is good. Close-ups and macro shots offer an impressive amount of detail. Landscape shots, however, sometimes look a bit too crisp. Le Echo really could cut down post-processing a bit there. The colors sometimes do look a little washed out, but that can be fixed afterwards, right? Doing macro shots, you get a very nice bokeh effect. The focus works very reliable and can handle small objects well. We haven't had to adjust manually very often. Bad lighting conditions, however, are what the camera does not like. During dawn or with street lighting, pictures just look ugly and unsharp. The LED flash performs nicely. The two dual-tone LEDs are capable of lighting up larger rooms, and the shutter time is surprisingly short. Pictures look very good, and surprisingly even macro shots do without any overexposure. What's more, you get sharp shots even without using a tripod or something. 4K recording quality of the Le Echo Le Pro 3 isn't as good as we would have hoped. While panning, the picture shows noticeable jitter, which hopefully will be fixed on the next updates. Also, we miss optical image stabilization. The audio sounds good and captures fine details, however, it does sound a little flat or tinny. The front camera does great selfies at daylight, but as also often sucks at night or synthetic lighting. We don't understand why the Le Pro 3 does not come with a screen flash feature. At 4070 mAh, the Le Echo Le Pro 3 comes with a large battery. However, at least on our review sample, the capacity is a bit lower at around 3900 mAh. The battery life is very good though. Leaving the demanding games untouched, we have been able to reach screen-on times of 6 hours on average. That equals about 1 to 1.5 days of usage. If you exercise some power saving, you will be able to get 2 days out of charge as well. The Le Pro 3 comes with support for Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0. Charging time is 45 minutes for 70% and almost 2 hours for a full charge. The phone does get hot while charging, so better place it on a non-insulating surface to ensure battery longevity. Verdict: the LeEco Le Pro 3 offers a more than decent price-performance ratio and indeed is a OnePlus 3 competitor, at least for those of you who prefer a bigger processing grunt over a high-end camera. You should have in mind, however, that the LeEco Le Pro 3 is not a phone that you unbox and use, except you live in the United States and purchase it directly there. You need to install the Play Store manually and get rid of the Chinese system parts, which of course is something not everyone likes. Anyway, if this is okay for you, you get hell of a lot of smartphone for your money here. So that's all from our side. If there are any questions left, please drop a comment. More information and the link to the shop can be found in the video description. If you like what we are doing here at CMM, please support us with a visit at chinamobilemag.de or our English site chinadevices.net and subscribe to this channel. So thanks for watching, bye bye and see you soon.